Yo, I don't know if anybody's even here. Um, what does the viewer list say?
1,000 people.
It says there's 3 people here.
Wrong. 1,000.
I don't know if I believe that. Alright, well, whatever, we're making video games. So, last time we were running into an issue, or we found a bug. Hypothermia is there. So last time we found a bug where, for whatever reason, for whatever reason, the very hard difficulty NPC AI, the very hard difficulty AI, would not make a match when the gems were thrown
Muffin.
sometimes.
No.
So I'm gonna look into that for a little bit, but I'm not gonna spend all day on it if I can't figure out what's going on.
Muffin is so fluffy.
Okay, let's see here. So I'm going to start with there's okay, so this is all that it's doing for checking the match. So it creates the gems, which it does, and it sets check match to 1. And it should be that simple. Otherwise it throws garbage. Yeah, darn straight I'm excited for that new Kirby game. So do I always set... I assume I just always set check match and set block placed. Which then is here. I suppose this is as good a place as any to put a C in. This set value, text queue. Take a little while to load, as it always does the first time. I've not tried Kirby's Blowout Blast yet. That's the, like, kind of 3/4 view one, isn't it? Oh, I messed up. Because right then it did it, and I wasn't watching. I need to add something other than check match in here so I can tell what's even going on.
What? Oh my god! Muffin!
What did she do?
Knock down everything.
Alright, let's try this again. Can't do anything. Alexander's here!
Look, where the hell you are? Muffin! That's my chair! Muffin, your breath stinks. This cat is weird.
Okay.
Muffin!
Okay, so... I think I'm starting to get some idea about what's going on with this bug. So I'm thinking the problem is whenever I make a gem, I set check match to 1 and block place to 1. So it goes down here and it goes, hey, block placed is 1. That means we should check and see if we have any matches. And so the idea then is that it's going to loop through all gems where check match is 1. And from there it sets temp X and temp Y and temp color, then sets check match to 0. But I feel like this is just prone to problems right now. Like, I don't know if this is the problem, but this is problems. Because I feel like what it's doing is we have block placed equals 1, and then for each gem, check match equals 1. We set check match equal to 0, but we also set block placed to 0. Which means, for 1, I think this is only running once. I think this for each is running once, since I set block placed to 0. Which means it's not very well going through all of them now, is it? So on top of that, if there are multiple gems with check match being equal to 1, I set temp X, and temp Y to effectively whichever the first one is that I find. And then even if this set block placed equal to 0 isn't exiting out of this, it's just going to overwrite temp x and temp y. With whichever one it finds that still has check match equal to 1. So, like, we're going to end this with potentially only checking one block, but at the very least, we will have the temp x and temp y of some random block. So I feel like... So if I put those two variables up there, I feel like if I grab all of these, absolutely everything here, and drag it into a sub-event under that. Okay, all the tiered coding now. I feel like I can put these down here. So there, if block placed is 1... am I going to join in the coming Ludum Dare? It is coming up soon, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, probably not. I haven't joined in the last bunch of them, but mostly I feel like we've just got so much going on right now that I'm struggling for any free time at all, much less devoting 24 hours to making a game I'm probably never going to see again.
You'll see it, especially this evening or Ludum Dare.
That game was so great.
You'll see it in Russian, and you'll see it in German, and you'll see it in other languages you don't understand, and it's all gonna be hilarious. I don't know why that game blew up in, like, every other language but English.
That game was amazing.
Our game exploded. I'm never gonna live that down.
So, you know, like, you're trying to live it down, and I'm like, dude, if I had made that game... I'd be like, dudes, look at this game I made. I'd be so proud.
The thing is, it wasn't even, like, a particularly impressive game. It was just weird enough that, like, a bunch of, like, German and Russian people caught wind of it. And they had a lot of views.
Okay, so,
It was like the
technical
German
one.
and Russian equivalents of PewDiePie, honestly.
So set temp color, temp x, temp y, temp color. So we got that. Then we will pick all gem, and then we will do all of the crap Presumably this will work.
Hey, Muffin, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Alright, let's see how badly I blow everything up. Let's try on hard first and just see if it still, like, functions. Alright, looks like it still functions, so that's cool. It appears to be working. It's not doing the glitch anymore. So I'm not exactly sure what was causing the glitch, but I did find part of the code that was weird and wrong and problems, and I fixed that, and it seems to have fixed this problem. So that's cool. Oh, of course, right then it gets stuck. Oh my goodness, it just sent such a huge combo to player 1 that I just lost instantly. And this AI is great. Look at this thing go. Oh no, it hit an end. Sending 111 blocks of trash to the opponent, though. Wow. Wow. Oh, it's already stuck. I'm noticing that it doesn't look like it's been throwing garbage on the evenly distributed. So I actually kind of want to look into that. Okay, that's 47 blocks of garbage. We'll see where that falls. No, that was evenly distributed. Okay, 71 blocks. Where do they fall? Oh, I think I know why. I feel like I know why we're just, like, not even seeing them. I'll try to pause this time to check. Yeah, because you see 7 sparkles. Oh no! I hit resume instead of step. Dang it. So I feel like the idea is,
Can I work it, please?
you know, let's just try that again. Okay, 85 is pretty good. Yeah, so you see all 7 yellow things come over. So they did fall on the left. Okay, so I'm not sure why these 2 on the far left fell just a little bit later than the other 5, but that would explain why you don't see any in the far left 2 lanes. Because these 5 immediately spawn, pile like 500 blocks high, immediately trash the opponent. And then it says, hey yo, you trashed the opponent, we're gonna clear the board of any move gems. These things. So all of these go away. So it's just because these 5 are enough to kill them outright that you don't even see these 2. I don't know why these 2 are falling just a little bit later than these 5, though. But it's... Boop! Yeah, so I don't know why those 2 are spawning a little bit later. Yeah, so you see all of them go over at the same time. And then right there, it did do...
Muffin!
It did do 5 of them, and then like the next frame it does the remaining 2. I wonder if it does that for smaller combos. You know, I know exactly why it's doing it. It's because I use that thing where the gems move towards... where the object moves towards its destination. What's that called?
Lerp.
What?
Lerp.
Lerp? That's why it's doing it. It's because I lerp the little sparkles over to the left. And, of course, the farthest left is farther away than the ones on the right. So they just happen to take 1 frame longer to get to the far left. And that 1 frame is just enough to cascade down. Interesting. Is that an issue that I feel like I would want to solve? Like, technically everything's working exactly as intended. Good afternoon, Daisy. So is that a problem that I want to bother solving? I don't know. I feel like I'm tempted to not, because I feel like it would be unreasonably difficult to solve for something that's only really noticeable if you one-shot the opponent with trash gems. And I feel like this would also just be unreasonably difficult to solve. In order to solve it, I would effectively have to alter the lerp to make sure that it hits every spot at the exact same frame, which would mean maybe changing speed based on distance or some such. But getting that down to what is effectively a one frame precision, I don't feel like I'm ever going to get that right. Like, I have to slow this one down to make sure that it hits this farther distance one frame sooner. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna bother, because that's... I don't even know how I begin to do that. Other than adding like a whole other system into the game, maybe, that would make sure that no matter where the lerp is, the gems fall at a set location after a set time. But that would require adding a whole bunch of systems to getting that done. And effectively redoing the entirety of how I do it right now for a minor graphical bug when you get one-shotted by trash gems. So I think I'm going to forego that. But we did solve the gems not making matches bug, which I'm really surprised hasn't come up until now. But, with that resolved, that means we get to get back to work, finally. Get to get back to work, finally, on getting the AI programmed. And before I do that, I'm going to take a brief bathroom break. So, RBR. Alright, I'm back. So the first thing that I'm going to need to do is check for... I can get rid of this. First thing I'm going to do is check for when it cannot find a match. So what do we have here? So destination equals 0, set destination to self.x. Then always set move timer to, so just lower move timer. Move timer is less than or equal to 0. Set move timer to something else, so that's the delay between movements. And then whenever it hits less than 0, that's when we actually do the things. So if we're holding nothing, then we set destination to function dot call npc no gem find match. So have no gems, need to find a match. And this should give us the destination. This should set our destination to wherever the gem is that we need to get to. If we happen to be over that, grab. Now, destination equal to 0 tells me that this could potentially give us 0 as an answer. And if it does give 0, then that means we set destination to clown.x, and that means we have found no match. There aren't any. So we're not holding any gems, and there are no matches. If we are holding gems, then we set destination to have gem, find gem, which would give us the destination of a match with what we have. If destination is equal to... So if we're at the destination, if we have gems and we're at our destination, grab to pick them all. If this found nothing, then there are no more locations to go to. So we set destination to our own location, and we just throw them. So this works for when we've run out of places to collect, or it's very nice because this also works if for whatever reason the gem, you had planned to pick up a gem and were blocked off from it. So you picked up 2 gems, and then before you got to the 3rd, it was blocked off, so you just can't pick up any gems anymore. So it just throws what gems you do have to the ground, so you can do something else. And then at the end, we move that. So this looks like what we're going for here. Let's try that again on a difficulty that I can tell what's going on. Okay, so on not stupid difficulty, this appears to be working exactly as intended. Yeah, and then it can't get any matches anymore. Okay, so that's working exactly as intended. I need to comment the crap out of this code. So this is where we're going to put our code for digging. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to search through the top elements and find any gem that has 2 visible. I'm probably going to want to make a function for that. So let's see here. Let's go... How big are you as a function? Not huge. How big are you as a function? Not huge. I'm going to grab you, and I'm going to copy you and paste you right down here. Okay. No match, find 2. I should also put the return in here. Okay, so, I like this syntax better, I feel. Alright, later, Daisy. So, move check is equal to 0. What's move check? Where do I do anything with that? Oh, okay, there. Okay, so that's where we set the color. So I feel like this is just checking directly down 3? Yeah. Which I shouldn't need to do. Because I'm only looking for 2, so I should only have to look down. Okay, Spectre, it's not too complicated, really. It's effectively a match 3 game, where you have to pick up gems and then throw them back down. The idea is to destroy a total of 200 gems faster than your opponent. That's the very basics of it anyway. We've got a bunch going on otherwise. I'll speak a little bit more on that in 1 second. I gotta wrap my head around what's going on right here. Okay, so I do have temp color right up here. So I know what temp color is. So I think instead of temp X, I can just go temp color. I think I'm going to want this to be -1. Okay, so that should be as simple as that. NPC, no find match. No match find to. NPC, no match find to. Which means up here now, so that should return the color of something that has 2. So, if there are 2 visible, there should never be only 1 of each color visible. I feel like in order for 1 of each color to be visible... What are there, 5 colors? Yeah, if there's 5 visible, with the 7 rows across, that would guarantee that as long as there's something, but if you have the 5 across and 2 empty, then there should still be at least like 30 gems, I think I said it too, just on the board. 21. What if there's a trash on the top? I'm not worrying about trash yet. I'm gonna make sure they function under normal standards. Then I'll worry about dealing with trash. But that does tell me, though, that if there were like 2 empty, and yet still 21 gems, then there could be the 5 on top. And I feel like in that situation, if you had 2 empty rows and 5 stacked up, and could not find a dig by chance, then I feel like what I would want to do at that point is getting rid of you'd want to even it out, I guess. Or maybe I should just make you dig. I mean, I guess you're still gonna have to... You're gonna have to dig one way or the other, so I guess forcing you to even it out, if you just can't find anything, will work well enough. If that causes problems, I'll worry about solving those problems later. Okay, so I call that function, that should give me a color. I should then have a color that I need to figure out where to dig to. Spectre, how the different characters are going to play is each character has their own garbage block that they send to the opponent. So like, playing as a character doesn't really affect how you play, but it affects how your opponent reacts to you. I didn't really want to complicate the gameplay, per se, with if I choose this character, I have to play like this, if I choose this character, I have to play like this. Like, I wanted the focus of the gameplay to be one general kind of play, regardless of who you choose. How many variables do I have on this clown? A lot. Should I just keep adding variables to this thing? I've got so many variables on this clown. I mean, I guess I don't know where else I'd put it. Yeah, I can actually show you a bunch on that here in a second, Spectre. So dig color is going to be set equal to function.call npc no match find 2, comma clown dot player num. So set dig color to function.call npc no match find 2. Okay, so now I need to make another function. Well, I'll just take this opportunity to show Spectre how stuff works. Okay, so right now I have 9 different playable characters. We have Karen, Naka, Isami, Tofu, Meat Bun, Rhina, Morgana, Yuki, and Ogre. I'll just go player, I guess. So the idea is you pick up gems and you toss them back down to make matches of 3. And if you make a match before the timer down there runs out, you get 1 added to your combo score, which is down here. Once you're done, your combo score, or once the combo timer runs out, your combo score sends garbage blocks to the opponent. So each character then is going to have different garbage blocks to deal with. Like these, I can pick up and throw back down, but I can't make a match with them. These actually destroy themselves when and only when they come into contact with the bottom of the playing field all the way down here. So the idea of the garbage blocks is really just to slow your opponent down and potentially get you some gems back. Because you saw for the 4 of those that got tossed down, I, over here, got 4 additional gems added to my quota. So that was Karen. So this should be Naka on the left, who Naka has a kind of, I guess you call it a slashing block. So once the combo runs out, so Naka has a kind of slashing block. So the idea is, why do I have a button for Adobe Reader in Chrome? Oh, you mean up here in the far upper right? I honestly don't know. Gonna be honest, don't know. So this is a kind of slashing block. So the idea is if you pick it up and throw it back down, it destroys all gems directly underneath where you throw it back down. And sends all of those to the opponent. So I just got to score up to 22 over here for that. So the safest way to deal with these is to just pick them all up and throw them directly on the bottom. That way you're at least not sending any excess to your opponent. But you do have to dig down to the bottom in order to do that. So this one, on the other hand, Isami's, is... see if I can set up a couple... So those 3 go over to the opponent. So these are, I guess you could call them punch blocks instead of slash blocks. They function exactly the same as Naka's blocks, only instead of destroying all gems directly straight down, they instead destroy the 3 next to them, like below and to either side. So if I throw this one here, it destroys both of those. And if I grab this one and throw it here, it destroys all 3 of those. So the safest way to deal with these, then, is to make an area of 3, or 2 if you're, like, directly against the edge, so you can throw it down and it only destroys itself.
Hey, just FYI, I'm going to reorganize all of this crap because I need this.
Okay.
So I'm going to put my donuts thing in a different thing. With this muffins is separate, I'm going to use this.
Okay.
Because it has different land covers than I need it.
Okay.
Just FYI.
Okay. Okay, so those were those. So let's try tofu and meat bun. So this is tofu on the left. So Tofu's blocks are squish blocks. So the idea with these is you have to put minimum of three or four blocks on top of these in order to squish them. But a match doesn't count. That's a problem.
Huh?
I found a bug.
Oh boy.
So you can see there it squished the block down. You just have to make all... Okay, so bug aside, because some weird things were happening. And then you saw, very briefly there, meat buns, which is a bomb block. Which the bomb block falls over to the other side, and once it lands over here, you can't do anything with it. You can't pick it up, you can't move it, you can't do anything. But after a period of time, it just blows itself up, and takes any gems next to it to your opponent's side. So the idea with that one, anyway, is you have to wait it out, for one, but you can move the gems next to it. So you have to move the gems next to it to, like, make the bomb blow up as few blocks as possible. Let's try Rhina and Morgana. Okay, so Rhina on the left. Her gems are the roulette gems. Which the roulette gems work kind of like the bomb blocks, where once they land on the opponent's side, there's nothing you can do about them. You can't pick them up, you can't move them, nothing. And after a set amount of time, they'll randomly pick one of the gems adjacent to them and match with it. Which, what that means is effectively destroy all gems of that color that are connected to it. So if it landed on this blue block here in the middle, it would only destroy that blue block. But if it landed on this red one on the far right, it would destroy all three red blocks. So get 5 over to the other side. 5 is maybe a bit much, but... So you say after a moment, they'll match with everything next to them. And then Morgana's block... Well, 3 should give you the idea. Morgana's blocks are cloud blocks, where in order to get rid of them, you have to make a match next to them, which is pretty standard for puzzle games. And that will actually, it'll remove the cloud block, it'll send every gem of the match that you used to the opponent, and it will reveal another block. There hasn't been a lot of balancing done to these yet, so I understand that some may be more powerful than others. I feel like once I get the AI done, I'll be in a better position to actually test some of these out and see how powerful they are. So finally we have Yuki and Ogre. So Yuki has a ghost block. And the ghost blocks fall down and randomly place themselves over top of the playing field, as you can see over here on the right. So even if I move the gems underneath them, the ghost blocks will always stay there. And so the issue with these then is the only way to get rid of them is to make a match on that block. So I can get rid of these two by doing that, and then it sends all the gems that I made the match with also to the opponent. So these may seem a little bit like it's harder to, or I guess you could say these may seem like, oh, well, you could just ignore them then. But as Yuki sends more of these over, it's going to get harder and harder to avoid them and to work around them. And if you don't do anything about them, she can top you off with the ghost blocks. Because they will start piling on top of each other, and once they reach the top of the screen, you lose.
I'm gonna hang this up.
Oh, I didn't show Ogre. Yeah, her gems do count as game over, and as I mentioned, the more they show up, the harder it's going to be to not make matches on her blocks. So I think I have Ogre on the right. Okay, 3 should be enough. It's going to be hard to make a match in time otherwise. So Ogre has these rainbow blocks. So they function just like normal blocks for the most part, but they change color periodically. And since they function like normal blocks, you can... Whoops. Since they function like normal blocks, you can pick them up and throw them back down. And the only way to get rid of them is to make a match with them. But making that match, of course, sends all the blocks that you use to the opponent. And it works just like regular gems, so you would need a total of 3. Oh.
Use that extra frame.
So you'd need a total of 3, and you need to throw a non-rainbow block in order to make the match. Because I want to make sure you can't just, oh, well, I'll just pick up all 400 of these blocks they dropped on me, drop them on the 1 green, and that's the end of that. Oh, I forgot to set the NPC on. So 21 blocks being sent to the opponent. Ugh. And so if I were playing over here, this is going to get harder and harder to not make a match on any of those. The NPC doesn't know how to do trash yet! Yeah, so it's gonna get harder and harder to move, and then she can just block you out entirely. Okay, so back to what I was doing. So we have the... So we know dig color, so we're digging towards a location. So I need to look for... Okay, so we know the dig color that we're going to search for. So I need to search from here to... I need to search through all gems. So I need to make a new function. The function is going to be called NPC. See, do I want to call it Find Dig Spot? Let's just call it Find a Dig Spot. So this is going to return destination. NPC find dig spot, player. Player color. Okay, so how do I want to search this? This is going to be... Hey there, cool trainer. So I'm going to want to search effectively top, down, left to right. Hey, thanks, DLX7. Just doing my best. Okay, so I'm gonna want to search, so... I don't know, let's just start putting code down and see what happens. Okay, so we're going to want to do this 7 times, I guess, because we're going left to right. I'm gonna grab these. So select the clown, select the correct clown and the correct field back. Temp-x is going to be fieldback.x. Okay, then I'm going to want to repeat 7 times. Ascending? Yes, I want this to be ascending. Where gem x is equal to temp x. Video games are complicated, man. Stuff's hard. So what I'm doing right now, for anybody who showed up, is I'm working on programming an AI to play against you in this puzzle game. And right now, the AI can function pretty normally, but it cannot dig through gems to reach a destination. Like, if it needs to get 3 to make a match, if there's only 2 visible, it does not know what to do. Even if it has to move 1 block to get to that 3rd one, it doesn't know what to do. So that's what I'm making it do. So I have made a function just a moment ago that will search through all the gems that it can reach and find 2 that are the same color. So it just needs to dig to find 1 more. So now I'm writing a function that will make it figure out where that digged spot is. Okay, so, so the hard part from here is, the hard part is having to reference another gem. I'm gonna make a temp y. So for each gem ordered by that ascending, where gem x equals temp x, and gem type is equal to function dot param 1. So I'll just search top down until it finds the correct. If it finds the correct gem. No, actually, I want this to be a sub. No, I think it's fine up there. I'm gonna want a sub event anyway, though. So, once it finds it, I need to set temp y to be gem.y. Okay, now I need to make sure that the gem directly above this one is not also that gem type. This will make sure that, like if there's two stacked directly up top, and I find the second one down, like we have to dig, that's the point. So if I find another gem on top of this one that's the same color as this one, it should not count, because we don't have to dig. So, from here, I'm going to want to pick all gem, where x equals temp x, and y equals temp y minus gem size. And gem type is not equal to gem type is not equal to the function. So, so we found a gem. So first things first, we found a gem. Temp x and temp y are the location of said gem. If this is true, then that means the gem above it needs to be moved. At which point, I will now need to... So this is a good gem. Good gem. I'm going to need another variable for let's call you dig distance and make you something ridiculous like 400. So if this is all true, then we found something good. At which point we need to... So if dig distance is greater than loop index, set dig distance to loop index. Oh, Rhina had been added. She is in the game. I gave her the roulette block. A yo-yo block would be neat, but I honestly have no idea what a yo-yo block would look like. A yo-yo block for Rhina.
It just kind of bounces around everywhere. Right?
Something like that. Okay, so if dig distance is greater than loop index. Set dig distance to loop index. What is it?
It's an expired coupon. The receipt from the first time we got return address labels in a bag.
I guess, yeah.
It's just been sitting on my table. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing with it.
Alright, so set dig distance to loop index. Is that a problem? 0. I guess it doesn't matter because I'm just comparing loop index. So we did find something here though, and this is a place that we need to dig to. So I'm going to set return value to tempx. So if we ever find a shorter dig distance, we will fix it with this. Like, it will update the return value here. I suppose at the very beginning I'm going to want to initialize the return value to be -1. Or I guess 0. 0's fine. That should just about do it, honestly. I need to add right at the end of all of this system, add to temp x. We are adding gem size. So this theoretically should work. So we initialize tempx and return value, repeat 7 times. So this will just go, and then maybe it finds some. This top one will just go, and since we're also comparing gem type, maybe it finds something, maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't find anything, then it just goes down here, add gem size to temp x, and it moves on. So if it does find something, then it sets temp y to be the location of the gem that it found. And then pick all gem where the gem above it is a different color. And maybe it is, maybe it's not, but if the gem above it is a different color, then we also check dig distance versus loop index. Which loop index should be the current running loop, which should be this one, which should be distance from the top, effectively. So if we find something at a distance of, I don't know, 8, initially dig distance is 400. So yeah, 400 is greater than 8. So we set dig distance to 8 and set return value to tempx because we found something. But then it keeps going. So if it finds another one at like 4, then it'll go, hey, 8 is greater than 4, so we'll make this 4. But then it's still the same location. And then if we find another one at 6, it'll go, hey, 6 is certainly greater than 4, so we're just not going to do this. And it remembers the old location. So it should return then the location we need to move to. So at the end of the whole thing, it should return the location that we need to move to, and that should be it. Okay, so back up here. Function.call NPC. What did I call this function? Find dig spot, I think. And then I passed in player number. And I passed in color. Oh man, we got a riddle. I don't know, I got no idea, man. I am not good at riddles.
At some point, I have an entire stack of frames I'd like to put on the wall.
Hey yo, take a look at this riddle.
What?
I got no idea.
I feel like that's missing something.
I don't know, it looks like a riddle to me. I'm just bad at riddles.
I don't understand the "you are sure to find hell."
Hmm.
Like, that part in particular just seems like it's missing something. The answer is this riddle.
See, it's the kind of riddle where once you know the answer, it makes perfect sense. It's like, oh, holy crap, that was it. But like, I don't know, I can't figure it out up until then. The only riddles I can do like this are the ones that I already know the answer to, because I've seen them before. Like, if I get a new one, I can never do it. I'm gonna Google it. What do we got? That's not helpful.
What?
So the solution is either I'm not the devil, stop asking, or this doesn't know the solution.
Seems to be the title of the riddle.
Yeah. Helpful.
No, I think that was actually the answer.
That's the closest I could think.
No, because it's... Yeah, I get it now. Mm-hmm. I get it. Okay. Clever.
I can see that being it. The answer is hello.
Yep. I get it.
Man, I'm so bad at riddles.
I'm bad at riddles, but then like I appreciate ones that make me go, oh. This one was kind of just like, oh, yeah, I guess. Whoa, what is that?
Oh, Spectre came up with an idea for a yo-yo gem. Zoinks! You've taken a wrong turn. Zoinks, you've taken a wrong turn. None of your images are working, Spectre. Your first one did. After that, they haven't been. Your first one did, though.
Anyway, there's a cat on my chair, so I can't get back to work. She's looking at me like, do not touch me, do not pick me up.
Okay, so back to work. So if we can't find a match, if there is no match, then we set dig color to... We set dig color to the function, and if dig color is -1, then that means nothing worked. We set destination to something else. We set destination based on dig color. So we know where the destination is, so we're just going to go to that location where we have to dig. But I feel like we're going to want to save that. I feel like we're going to want to have to save that location because we're going to be coming back to that location frequently. Like, we're going to have to, depending on how far we have to dig. Oh, this -1 is for the return of color, which I cannot make 0 because 0 is a color. The -1 that I changed to 0 is destination, which I have a lot of destinations equal to 0, so I just went with that. What did I just do? Whatever. So I am going to take this. So if destination equals 0, so after this, if destination equals 0 or dig color equals -1, then we don't know what to grab, so set destination to clown X. Yeah, this is actually gonna get a little tricky. Yeah, I am gonna have to save that location. Because I'm gonna be changing the destination periodically. There we go, now it also has another variable for dig destination. So instead of destination, let's set dig destination to that. Okay, so we set dig destination based on that. We know we're empty at this point, so I should go ahead and set the destination to be that too. And now we know it's moving towards that location. Okay, now comes the fun part, because while we're digging, we're going to have to more or less completely undo everything else that we've got here. And, like, set a priority to not do other things. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. So if we're not holding anything, it sets destination. So it'll move one towards its destination there at the bottom. The next turn, it'll go, hey, we have 0, we're holding nothing, so it'll set destination. Now, if it does find something while moving, then it will set that as being the new destination.
This cat.
And it'll set that as being the new destination. So I feel like what I'm going to want to do is set a destination here for if destination does not equal 0, yeah, that's still fine. So after that's done, if destination does not equal 0, then I'm going to want to set dig destination to be 0. And dig color to be -1. And then I can just make that some of that. So that'll initialize dig destination and dig color. So if destination does equal 0, but dig destination is greater than 0, then set destination to self.digDestination. So if destination is equal to 0, but dig destination is greater than 0, then set destination to self.dig destination. So if it searches for something, fails to find something, but we do still have a dig destination, then just go towards that dig destination. So if destination is equal to 0, so that failed to find something. If dig destination is greater than 0, go towards that. Otherwise, we have to find a dig destination. So that should handle pretty much every situation of having no gem. Which is that it mostly just keeps searching, and if it finds something, it goes after it. If it can't find anything, it figures out where it has to dig to. And even if it's in the middle of digging, it still keeps searching. If it finds something, it does it and forgets about digging. So that should be fine. Now down here, for if our quantity is greater than 0, so if we are holding something, you know, maybe this will work fine. There were a couple people here earlier, Alexander, but game dev streams are always pretty quiet. I got something in my eye! Okay, so... Okay, so this is gonna search. And if it finds a match, then it does something. If it doesn't find a match, and there's a dig destination, set that. But this is after every move, so eventually it's going to get to the point where it's there. It's at dig destination. So I feel like I'm going to want to take this and put it down here. So if destination at this point, grab it. Okay. So I do need to check at this point. So if we grab them, so if clowns. I think it's holding. So after we grab, if we are then holding the color that we were digging for, then we're done digging and I can stop digging. Yeah, Alexander, I'm going to humbly request, as the guy kind of running the stream right now, stop using caps lock. And I don't mean that in a, oh well, I'll just use caps lock one more time to help get the point across. I mean, no, stop it.
I love it.
Alright. Okay, so if quantity is greater than 0, knock upon.
Huh?
I remember when Potapon first came out, I actually did a little bit of fan art of whoever that lady is in town that's kind of like your chief advisor kind of lady. I did some fan art of her as a slightly more humanoid. But that was back when I didn't know how to draw. So it's gone to this world and very bad. I feel bad because like everything that I've ever drawn in the past that I go, that's kind of a neat idea. But the drawing is so horrible. I want to like redraw all my drawings that had decent ideas behind them anyway. Okay, so I'm actually getting pretty well done programming this thing to dig, and I didn't expect to get this far today. Okay, so at this point, I need to... Mostly I just need to set my destination to be somewhere else. Okay. I'm gonna have to make another function. And this should be the last function. What's this function should be called? Yeah, it's gonna be called NPC have dig find dump.
What?
This function is called NPC have dig find dump.
Wow.
Because the idea is that I just grabbed a chunk of blocks out of where I'm digging, and now I have to find a location to dump them. Just get them out of the way. So I have the dig, I have to find the dump. Okay, so I need to... Gonna make a temp-x. temp x is going to be equal to fieldback.x. I'm gonna repeat 7 times. So we just do this once, because I just need the top one. And I stop the loop right off. So I need to check after that, though. Does the gems... gem type has to be different from dig color. Because if I'm trying to dig down to a brown, I am doing this to try to make a match of browns. So I don't want to pick up the non-brown on top of that brown and then place it on top of one of the other browns. That's the opposite of what I'm trying to do. So gem type cannot be clown.dig color. The gems X can also not be dig destination. So we're looking at all the gems that aren't... We're looking at now at all the top gems that aren't where I'm digging from or the same color as the thing that I'm digging for. Okay, so let's see here. Hey there, Scary. We've had some bad storms rolling through here over the past day or two.
God, man, yesterday was awful.
Okay, I'm also going to want another variable here for temp y with an initial value of let's say 1,000. Okay, so if we find a gem, set temp y to gem.y. Then after this, we're going to want to look at add another condition. No, not quite. Wait. Oh. Okay. This theoretically works. Okay, so if we get here, we set temp y to gem.y. So now we have, so we come out here with whatever gem.y was, or if there was nothing there, then it sets it to 4,000. Then temp y is 4,000. So if temp y is greater than return y, which the first time it should always be, it will set the return value to that temp x, which is the very first one, and return y is set to temp y, which in this case would be either 4,000 or gem.y. Now if it's 4,000, then pretty much nothing else I find is going to fix it. Then after that, I reset temp y to 4,000 because we don't know what we're going to find, and set gem size to temp x. So that scooshes us over one. We've got temp y sitting at 4,000 again. I feel like I'm going to be happier with putting this up here. So we do this again. Now if we did find a gem, then whatever that y was is going to be that. And it's going to be look, and if it finds a gem, it finds another gem y, then it will set temp y to whatever that is. So if we found one last time, then return y should be whatever it was last time, at which point it will compare, and if this new one is greater, i.e. deeper, than the old one, then it'll set return value to the now current temp x, and set return y to this new temp y. And we increment temp x, and we try it again. I don't know, theoretically this should just work, but I'm scared to try. Because I have actually kind of made a lot of changes without testing them. So if there's a bug, it could be anywhere. Because I'm a good programmer. And I do things in small, testable increments. I don't know, guys, I'm scared.
Oh dear. So slow.
So we can find matches right now. The terrifying thing is going to happen when we can't find matches anymore. At the very least, this tells me that I did not screw up. I did not screw up normal match finding. It's going slow so I can tell what it's doing. It's not digging. Okay, what should it be doing at this point? It's got plenty of dig spaces.
Yeah, I feel like it would want to go for that blue that's right underneath the browns. Especially that long one.
Well, the way it searches, it's going to look on the top for two of the same color. So it would go for either yellow or brown. And what it would do is it would look for... I forget how it searches, if it goes left to right or center out from where it is. But if it was going for yellow, then it would look for a third yellow, which there's one right there. So it would, from here, just go over and dig down to that yellow. But it's doing a whole lot of not that. Ugh. Okay, hold up, I'm gonna comment this code so I can tell what it's doing.
Both kitty, you're slut.
I don't know how to spell decrement. I don't know how to spell decrement.
It's like increment, except without the N and instead of D.
No, it's D-E-C-R-E. I don't know, crap. I don't know how to spell things. Okay, so this isn't the problem, but I don't like this code right here. There, my code's commented now. You can kind of tell what it's doing. So if this worked, it would have been beautiful, and that would have been the end of the stream, but it doesn't. So now I have to figure out why. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this. let's see what happens. Yeah, give me a minute. So it keeps getting 1-0. Oh, I shouldn't have closed out. So I could look at what it's getting here. It's getting 1-0, which means it was getting a color. But the destination it was getting was 0. I shouldn't have closed out of that, but it looked like... Find dig spot. It looked like this wasn't working. Alexander, if you're talking about the number of garbage blocks that came down, nothing has been balanced yet. And I don't even mean an initial balancing. I made sure you physically could throw trash blocks, and that's all I've done with that. Okay, so this is just searching left to right. found a color. It found a color with 2 on top, but didn't find somewhere to dig for it to find a third. Presumably... what is the y equals temp x? Oh, temp x minus gem size. What I'm doing is I'm checking to make sure that the gem on top of the gem that I found up here, like this is the gem that you're presumably going to be digging for. I'm checking to make sure the gem on top of that one is different. This will make sure that we're not just grabbing the gem on the top. Alexander, this game is entirely boss battles. Oh, so should it not be using temp y instead of temp x? You know, you just may be onto something, and I don't know how much I appreciate that. I don't know how in the world you read this text, but thank you. Let's see what happens, I guess. What the crap?
So I just made the volley attack have different phases, and I'm really happy with it. Or not phases, but like different numbers of being able to bounce.
Should have done this in debug mode so I could pause.
It's going.
This thing's gonna friggin' win before it messes up.
it goes.
Ah, okay. So, what seems to be the problem here?
Not for nothing, but I stream in a half an hour.
Okay.
Unless, like, people be not.
Okay. If you want to start working on dinner, then okay. So 4. 4 is yellow. Four is yellow. Yeah, I think the problem right now is that I've missed exactly what happened in the instant that it messed up. Like, I couldn't tell if it moved somewhere or if it did something. I could only tell that it's messed up now, clearly. Okay, so it should mess up right after this. I think. Because after it throws this down, it will not be able to match the red underneath it, not the blues. Yeah, it shouldn't be able to match anything. No, it'll match the browns. Then it'll match the reds. Then it can match probably the blues. And the greens. Then after that, the yellow. Okay, the brown spontaneously showed up, but it can still match the yellow. After that, it'll match the red. Or the blue, I guess. Sure, why not? It can match the greens. After it matches the greens, it can match the browns. After that, it can still match the yellow. After that, it can match the blue. And the brown. And the green. Then the red. No, probably the yellow first. Nope, we're going to the red. Let's see, then I can match the blues. Then the browns. Then after that it can match the greens. And after that it'll match the yellow. Then the blue. Then the red. After it matches these reds, it can match... nothing. Okay, so, so it figured out, it ran its digging algorithm here. So it's going for 2, which 2 is green. So it looked left to right. No, I think it actually searches out from itself. Because we're not finding dig spot. Find 2. Yeah, the find 2 searches out from itself. So that would... I guess it's ignoring the blue and going for the green. 1050, and it's determined that 1056 is going to be its destination. So it's going to dig, it's going to try to dig right here. It's going to try to match green, which is perfectly reasonable, and it's going to try to dig right here. So where are you going with this blue? Its destination is 816. So it would make sense that it's trying to throw it right there. No? Why aren't you trying to throw it right there? Oh, it's probably trying to make its way over to this other blue. So it'll go over to this blue, it'll pick up this blue. What is going on? What is going on? Okay. Okay, so when holding gems, it tries to find a destination. And it moves towards that destination, and it tries to grab all. It successfully did this. If it cannot find a destination,
Oh my goodness, look, it's a smiley face.
I'm gonna reorganize some of this code.
Open. Water on the potato.
Sure. I guess you could put it on if you don't mind. So the problem looks to be in my have, dig, find, dump function.
Oil and butter. Okay, ready.
Okay. Alright, everybody, I'm going to call the stream now. I know we're kind of in the middle of everything, but I'm going to at least take a look at what's going on from here, but I won't do any coding until next time, when hopefully we can knock this bug out, and if we can knock this out next time, which I feel like I should be able to, then we should have a proper functioning AI. And that's just swell. So until next time, everybody, hopefully we can figure out what's going on with this mess.
Also streaming soon?
Yes, and Barry is streaming as soon as we're done eating. Roundabout.
Thanks.
If you pay attention to my Twitter at all, I'll be retweeting her tweet about the whole thing. It's also just twitch.com/MadamBarry. That's it, right? Twitch.tv/MadamBarry. So yeah, check that out. She's going to be streaming some more game dev too.